Hey yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. Well, it is Friday night. We are back on the couch and it is time for another weekly movie review. So I actually saw this flick when I was looking through randomly at just, the first page of Redbox and saw a couple people in it that, I think do decent movies, so I figured, let's check it out. And I'm really confused by it in multiple ways, so we'll get right into it. The movie is called Why Stop Now? It features Jesse Eisenburg, Melissa Leo, Tracy Morgan, Isiah Whitlock Jr., and really only other person kind of known is Paul Calderon. So I like Jesse Eisenberg. I thought he was really good in The Social Network. I thought he was decent in Adventureland. I thought he was by far the best part of 30 Minutes or Less. I loved him in Zombieland. I mean, I think he makes decent movies. I don't think he's like the most incredible actor, though I thought he was good in Social Network, but I think he makes good movies. So when I saw a movie with him that I hadn't really heard of, I figured, let's check it out. Now, Melissa Leo, I've seen her in a ton of other things. She's pretty decent in it. Decent actress. Stephanie March has a small part in it, who's best known for being on in Law & Order SVU. Isaiah Washington Jr. I love from being in The Wire, from his parts in 25th Hour, and tons of other things, all of which he goes, yeah. That's his claim to fame and pretty much everything he does. But I'm not a fan of Tracy Morgan. And I know a lot of people love him. A lot of people especially, really like him now because of 30 Rock. I don't watch 30 Rock. So, I've watched a few parts of episodes just because my cousin had it on or somebody else had it on. And I never saw what everybody loved about it. Like, I like Alec Baldwin. I thought Alec Baldwin was pretty funny in it. But I never saw anything where I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch this show. And every time that I ever saw Tracy Morgan, I always just thought he was kind of nerdy and goofy. Like, he always just struck me as like a really like goofy humor. Which, I like some goofy humor. I'm not saying that I don't. But nothing ever like reached out and grabbed me when I watched Tracy Morgan. And this definitely continues that. So the basic storyline is Jesse Eisenberg is this piano genius who has a audition to go and essentially get accepted into this music school. Everybody kind of sees that since he got out of school, he hasn't been doing anything. He's been working in a convenience store stocking shelves, or grocery store stocking shelves. Really just partying his ass off, drinking tons, and doesn't really have much of a care going on. We end up finding out more. The reason why is because a lot of his time is spent taking care of his sister, his little sister, because his mother is out there. And I'll get more to this whole topic as I go, but essentially his mom is nuts. Our first encounter with her is she's painting a painting of Isis, Osiris's wife in Egyptian culture, on the living room window, or the living room wall, with it written "vagina power" above it. Just out there, very eccentric. So we end up finding out that in a somewhat cry for help to try and help her, she's going to be going to rehab. And it's a 30-day program. It's a 4-week program. And we then find out that the timing is important because if Jesse Eisenberg's character gets this enrollment, he will be moving away. So his mom will need to be there actually taking care of his little sister. So the bulk of the movie starts when she attempts to go and get into this rehab facility, but her urine doesn't come up dirty. As she said, she knew she was coming to rehab, so she stopped doing drugs. Well, she also doesn't have insurance. So since she doesn't have insurance, they won't accept her. And since her urine isn't dirty, she can't be committed in like a detox program. So the guy at the rehab place says, go out and cop, get messed up, come back, you'll piss dirty, everything's good. So, of course, because, well, it is a movie, she then has Jesse Eisenburg drive her to get her supplies, which is where we meet Sprinkles, the ridiculously named Tracy Morgan character, and Isaiah Washington Jr., who's named Black. And that's when it just all goes from there, and pretty much everything that can go wrong does. Of course, she owes Tracy Morgan's character money, so it's not exactly a pleasant reunion. Then they have to go cop more stuff, and of course, the guy they're copying from only speaks Spanish, and Tracy Morgan doesn't, so then you wonder how have they always done business before that? Whatever. Again, it's just a movie, so Jesse Eisenberg translates because wonderfully he speaks Spanish, and who cares, really? I'm saving you guys time. Who cares? Really, just every little thing that can come up does, and every problem that can arise does, and every time that something could be done easily, it goes the hard way, and yeah, honestly, I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is a good actor. There wasn't even like anything good for him to do with this role. Everything was so convoluted, it almost seemed like he overacted every scene. Then Tracy Morgan just being typical Tracy Morgan, which I never found him funny. So of course I'm not going to like that. And it was a waste of time. I mean, it was just a very movie. And what I don't get is it really couldn't figure out what it wanted to do. It couldn't figure out if it was going to be just straight up comedy. It couldn't figure out if it wanted to have a moral message of, hey, don't do drugs because it messes up your life. It couldn't figure out if it wanted to, portray Jesse Eisenberg as this nice, caring, good guy, or as an asshole who's, saying F you to his mom and telling her just to shut up and all that. It didn't know if it wanted to, be a discussion in terms of his drinking habits and his need for help. It just couldn't figure out what it wanted to do. And because of that, nothing got across. You know what I mean? Like, rather than showing and really delving into it, which I think could have been done, it never fully committed to anything. And because of that, to me, it was just a crappy movie. And every time that you think, oh, wow, he just treated his mom so horribly, he's going to have an awakening. It doesn't happen. And really the only awakening he has is for this very chick who's a Revolutionary War reenactor, because that needed to be added to the movie. And it never, like I said, it never delved into anything. Like, you find out that his father was a junkie. And so that's like his biggest thing that he's against is junkies. And the biggest moment is when he calls his mom a junkie. Even though he's, sitting there drinking tequila at noon, whatever. And it's literally like nothing ever let it blossom. So at the end of the day, it was Jesse Eisenberg's character who they didn't allow to actually build. It was Tracy Morgan being Tracy Morgan, which is just It was Isaiah Washington, pretty funny, but again, having the most nothing part. It was Melissa Leo just, again, jumping all over the place, going from out their mind crazy to totally normal to out her mind crazy. And at the end of the day, it was a crap movie. Don't waste your time. I'm giving it 2 stars, barely, just because I like Isaiah Washington. In fact, you know what? No, 1.5. It was not worth the 2 hours I put into it. There's not one scene of the movie that I would want to rewatch. There's nothing that I would say, you know what? That was funny for da-da-da-da-da. And I know that I did laugh a few times in it, but I literally cannot remember what it is. I've been racking my brain trying to think of one scene that I was like, oh, that was funny. Not one. Not one. So, end of the day, do not watch it. It's called Why Stop Now. Do not see it. It's a waste of time. And even the ending was just like, what? I mean, the juxtaposition of him being this amazing piano player, I don't get it. So, end of the day, don't watch it. It's a waste of time. Nobody did a good enough job to justify it. There weren't any laughs good enough to justify it. Don't waste your time. So, there you have it. Today's weekly movie review is that of Why Stop Now. And all I gotta say is stop. Do not watch this movie. That was corny. Sorry. Wish I could do like a rewind delete because that was mad corny. But anyway, as always, thank you guys for checking out my videos. I am Matthew Maley. This is MatthewMaley.com. And there you have it, the most recent weekly movie review. So hopefully everybody has a great weekend. Hopefully you guys go out there and do something fun, party your asses off. Just be safe and make sure you come back and check out MatthewMaley.com and see what happens next in the video. As always, I am Matthew Maley. This is MatthewMaley.com. Check out the rest of my videos on MatthewMaley.com. You can also check me out directly up on YouTube if you would like. Search for Matthew Maley Poker or MatthewMaley.com. You can also check me out on on Facebook. Just again, Matthew Maley Poker on there. Follow me on Twitter at Matthew Maley and follow me on Instagram at Matthew Maley Poker. And until the next video, I am signing off. Peace out, y'all.